Welcome, a massive welcome to a John Legg fragrance review. You know what, if you've been here before, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get an open-hearted, honest review of fragrance, and I'll do my best to talk you through it. Really appreciate you coming to this channel. You know what, I absolutely love every comment, every thumbs up, every subscription, everything about YouTube, and I really appreciate you coming and I can share this hobby with you. Right. I'm going to be honest with you, the fragrance world has almost been stuck in a rut since about 2000 and let's say 10. We've been stuck in a blue rut and no fragrance out there has been launched and has been dared to be sort of different. You know, you've had Creed Aventus, Bleu de Chanel, YSLY, Dylan Blue, Dior Sauvage. You know, there's nothing wrong with any of those fragrances. I love them all, but none of them have dared to be different. This fragrance that we're going to talk about now has dared to be different in a very wacky and a very, very clever way. Okay, what are we going to talk about? Let's talk about this bad boy. So it's made by a Moschino. Now I'm not Italian, so if I'm saying that wrong, please forgive me. Moschino, and it is Toy Boy, and it is the Eau de Parfum 100ml. Now this recommended retail price I think is around about £85. I had an email from Notino's recently, because I'm obviously I've shopped with them before. They sent me an email and they said, you know what, for £35 you can have it. Wow, was that email just for me? No, I guess the rest of the world got it as well. But anyway, the next thing I know, I found myself clicking on buy it now, and here it is. Okay, Moschino Toy Boy. I didn't really know what to expect. I've never had a Moschino fragrance before, and this was kind of like something which, £35, it was like, oh, come on, Leggy, just click buy it now, so I did. So, I hope there's no animal rights people watching this, because to get to the fragrance, you've got to rip the head off a bear. Okay, so there it is, the sort of shiny, glossy black Moschino Toy Boy bear. And I say, to get to the fragrance, you've got to decapitate this bear. Okay, don't cry, it's only sort of plastic. Let's spray it and let's try and tell you how it's different, what it smells like, and what you're going to get in terms of performance. Okay, the main thing is it's not the blue vibe. Okay, it's something really wackily different. I will warn you though, this is a disclaimer, it may not be for everyone. Now, I'm going to guess that it's probably a very complex fragrance. You know, there's probably, I don't know, 20 or 30 different notes in this. But I'm going to be really realistic and level up with you and say that you're going to smell basically two predominant notes. Initially, you're going to get the pepper, nice sharp pepper note, and then you're going to get a nice sweet rose note. Okay, now let's be honest. Whilst those two are the predominant notes, I guess the way that the pepper is because of all the supporting ingredients and notes, and the way the rose is because of all the supporting notes and ingredients in the rest of the fragrance. But I'll be honest with you, and realistically, you're going to smell two notes. Okay, now the first impression I got when I smelt this, I just went, oh, that's a bit like Marc Jacobs' Bang fragrance from a few years back. But about 10 minutes later, the rose note came through and I went, no, Leggy, it's something else. So is this completely unique? Right. I thought long and hard. I thought, Leggy, you've smelt this sort of fragrance before. Not exactly this, but you've smelt something similar. And I racked my little brain cell. I couldn't remember what it is. And it suddenly came to me. Leggy, you have smelt something similar vibe to this. It's made by Scent Story, but not the 24 gold. It was the 24 platinum. Now, if you've ever stuck your nose on Scent Story's 24 platinum, you will know that it's a rose sort of fragrance that has got like a metallic, no, it's got a metallic-y vibe to this rose. So in other words, it's not a nice florally rose, but it's almost got like a sidekick of this metallic-y vibe. And this is almost like a rose fragrance with a sidekick of pepper. Okay. Okay. For me, I find it very addictive, and I just keep wanting to smell it. And I've come to the conclusion that's what a fragrance should do. It should grab your attention, it should keep you wanting more, and this seriously does. Okay. Pepper and rose. And what happens, and I'll talk about the performance in a minute because the performance has seriously put a smile on my face. What happens is for the first 2.5 to maybe 3.5 hours, there is a serious fisticuffs. There is a battle on your skin. And it's almost like having two toddlers in the room, and they both want your attention, and they both want to show you their different toys, and they both want you to do this and that. Oh. Right. This stuff has a massive, massive, relentless energy. In fact, you could almost say it's like got Red Bull in there or something, because it just goes on forever and it never ever stops getting your attention. The two toddlers, if you like, are the pepper note and the rose note, and neither one of them will give up. And what you find is that one minute all you can smell is pepper, and you think, oh, it's just a pepper. And then next minute, all you can smell is the rose. And they desperately, what happens is these two fragrance notes desperately want your attention, and they're not going to give up until the other one gives up, and they're not going to let down because they desperately want you to think, oh, it's a pepper fragrance, or oh, it's a rose fragrance. Okay. There is a final victor, if you like, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but out of the pepper note and the rose note, there is one note that eventually gives way and lets the other one just sort of coast to the finish line. Now, performance. Okay. Now, if you've been here before, you know I can be quite harsh on fragrances. I'll sort of say, you know what, I'm disappointed with the performance of this. It scarcely gets off my skin. Or maybe you struggle to get an hour out of this, or you might get 2 hours out of this. This bad boy is, I would use the word nuclear. Okay. I put it on at maybe 6:30 in the morning, and I must admit I did sort of one spray, put my shirt on, then I did neck, back of my head, so there's quite a few sprays going on, and all day long I could smell it. There wasn't a point at which I thought, oh, it's gone. No, trust me, right through to having a shower at sort of 8, 9 o'clock at night, I could smell this fragrance. And this is the crazy thing. If I walked somewhere and then came back the same direction, I'd go, oh, and I'd realise I was walking back into my own sort of scent memory trail. Oh, this stuff. Okay, I've really got to praise this. Okay, it was launched in about 2019, I think it was. So it's in its first generation. They haven't had time to do the dreaded reformulation. And I did wonder whether if I was buying a £35 one, I thought maybe they've bought a batch of seconds. I don't know if they do that sort of thing. Maybe it's already watered down. No, trust me. This one is still a monster in terms of projection, in terms of longevity. Right, okay, I've got it on my t-shirt. And this is the crazy thing. T-shirt went through the wash. T-shirt was out on the washing line in the sun drying. I walked past it and I could smell it coming off my t-shirt. This stuff, in terms of performance, is amazing. In terms of the smell, I would give it like an 8.5 out of 10, because it's not the sort of fragrance that I would normally choose. I normally go for the smooth vanillas, you know, the Chanel Allure sort of vibe. This is really quite sharp and quite different. Okay. I think it will grow on me, and I think because of the performance, I'm going to go, Leggy, just wear this every day because you get a full day. You don't even have to carry your travelo. You don't have to top up. This seriously projects and goes on all day, certainly on my skin. Now, when I say this sort of thing, obviously, I've got sort of fairly ordinary sort of, it's neither dry nor particularly oily skin, and I guess it's just ordinary. I'm born and bred in the UK. I guess I'm classed as a, I don't know, Anglo-Saxon. So on my skin, this stuff seriously gets the job done. Okay. Do females like it? Okay. The maybe 3 females I've questioned about it, none of them absolutely raved about it. It wasn't like a Dior Sauvage moment or a Carolina Herrera bad boy moment where they go, oh, that's nice, Leggy. They all went, oh, that's nice, but it was a cautious nice. It wasn't, they weren't sort of jumping on me saying, oh, I love this fragrance. However, I think this gives the vibe of you are clean, you are fresh, you know what you're doing, and you know what? You've got that youthful sort of fun vibe about you. Even if you're an older guy, and you know what? An older guy, put this stuff on because you're going to come across as a younger guy, which can't be a bad thing. Okay, what sort of season? I'm I'm going to say I've sort of stopped doing all this what season and what age because if you like it, just put it on and wear it all year round. Certainly would do the winter. Maybe cautious on how many sprays in the summer, perhaps, because it is just so strong in terms of choking people out. In terms of age, you know what? I definitely think a middle-aged to an older guy, and thinking about it, why not a teenager? A teenager would get some serious attention wearing this. So I'm going to say, hand on heart, this is the first fragrance in quite a while that has wowed me on the different kind of smell, but an amazing kind of smell, and it has completely blown me apart with its performance. So the disclaimer and the warning is it is very heavy on the pepper and it is very heavy on the rose, and people might say to me, well, Leggy, is it borderline unisex? No, it is 100% for a man. I cannot picture a woman wanting to wear this because of that pepper note. Yes, it's got the rose in, but the rose is kind of, it never actually completely dominates until the end. Oh, I've given it away. Yes, the rose note is the one that coasts to the finishing line. The pepper, after about 3.5 hours, eventually gives up the battle and says to the rose, okay, it's your game. You take it from here. Right, I really appreciate it, and I'm sorry this is a long video, but I had a lot of excitement to share with you because of the performance and because of that different kind of vibe. So well done to Moschino. You've broken the blue vibe, you've took us out of that rut, and you've given us something which performs amazing. So my recommendation is go and buy this. If you can find it for sort of £35 on Latinos, the only extra thing was about £3 or £4 postage, but within about 2 days it was through. So if you can find it for sort of £35, you are seriously onto a winner because this is full strength stuff. Okay, I really appreciate it if you would thumbs up. I would massively honour you and respect you if you would give me a subscription. Stay happy, stay safe, spray fragrance every day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.